Hi, Christina. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Great. We're going to go over some data, and I just wanted to find out how you were doing with your ninth grade students here.
Yeah, sure. I'm pretty frustrated right now with the way my students are right now. They don't seem to be understanding numerous amounts of English standards. And I'm pretty shocked because last year it was working out with my students last year. They performed really well, and this year my students just don't seem to be grasping it at all. So it's pretty frustrating.
That's interesting. So what do you think is the reason that this is happening? What are some of your thoughts behind why this is the case?
Well, to be honest, there's a new feeder pattern happening in our school, so we're getting some new students or more students from this this middle school nearby, and I just feel like the quality of students has gone down. So I think that's what I've noticed.
Well, we want to focus back on the goals of our group, and we want to look at some of the efficacy strategies we put in place, because no matter where we're getting the students, we've got to meet them where they're at. And so in order to do that, we just got to put all that other baggage behind from wherever they came from, and know that wherever they're at now, it's our goal to get them to grade level and do whatever it takes to make that happen. So the efficacy strategies that we have in place, which ones have you done? Could you take a look at a few of these and tell me?
I've done the checking for understanding, so having them show me thumbs up or thumbs down, and the whiteboards. Those two have been my thing.
Great. And maybe if we do a little bit of the students tracking their own learning, they can realize how much they're actually gaining from being in your class, even though they're at a low level now. They can see their gains, and I think once they do that, that'll help excite the students, and that'll make them want to learn more, because they'll start to see their growth, and they'll be able to appreciate that.
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like I hear what you're saying. I also just feel like these students, they put zero effort, and they have the worst attitudes. I don't even really know if I'm going to make it with them this entire school year.
Wow, that's terrible to hear. I want to really work with you on that, because I want you to feel confident in finishing out the year. What can I do, or better yet, I can tell you a few things that I can do to kind of help. I'd be willing to go in there and maybe even work with you on teaching a model lesson, or even observing where you're at with the class. But before I do that, I'd like to find out, what have you been doing that is different from last year that you've been doing with the students?
Last year, it was just easier to talk to them. They just came very motivated. So this year I feel like even what I'm doing from last year, it's not working with the students.
So have you changed your practice? Since we know we're getting different students from a different school, have you worked on changing anything you're doing?
I mean, I wasn't planning on it because I was good at it last year, so I wanted to just try it out this year again.
Right. And of course, if we're not seeing the results and you're trying the same methodologies, clearly then we want to try to alter or change those so that we can get the highest amount of student outcomes. So maybe if we try some of these things, that could work. I'd also be willing to do it in our meeting. Maybe we could actually fishbowl a scenario that you've had in your class. So maybe if you can tell me about some of those scenarios, we can do a fishbowl, or we can do some type of modeling there where you can learn from other teachers in the group. And if there's someone else in our ninth grade group that you think is doing a great job, like Mary or Joe, you can feel free to take release time to go to their class and see how they're handling it as well. And hopefully then you'll be able to pick up some of the things that maybe you might want to change about your practice, so that way your students start to really understand and grasp the material.
I really do like that. I'm really open to that, because I'd like to see how I could help my students, although I feel like they're tough but I'm gonna try. I would really like the fishbowl idea to see how I can approach them differently.
Great. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll schedule that for the next meeting, and what we'll do is we'll make sure that at least between you and I, that we have some more frequent check-ins, and then that way we'll be able to try to help you adjust your practice, so that way your students are feeling like they're progressing, and more importantly, you feel like you're the dynamic teacher that I know that you are, capable of doing this work. So really, I appreciate the time that you took meeting with me today, and I think this is going to be helpful for our group moving forward. And just keep a really positive attitude, because our kids see that, and we're kind of that beacon for them of hope. And if we can do that in the classroom, and we can do that in our team, I think that we're going to have a really successful team, and that our students will see that, and they're going to want to do more than maybe they were doing before at their previous school. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. I hope they heard that. I don't want to do that again.